Excuse me. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I was sending out the back signal in the Discord. Man, give me a sip of high quality H2O. What in the? See that just. Do not ping Robinson. Do not ping him. He ain't he took on some extra. He ain't working nowhere. He took on some extra teams at the. Do not ping Robinson. Let him stay lurking. Hey man, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. If this is your first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, please allow me to say welcome. If it's not the first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, I still want to say welcome. But give you a nice hearty, well, thank you for always tuning into Tim's Tidbits. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tim. I hate when the mic be like all up in my face like this. Let me move the mic back so. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., aka Aranya Grande. That's Big Spot if you don't hablo Espanol. And you are now in tune to another episode of the Overnight Price Action Review. And the crowd goes wild. How y'all doing this morning, man? Let's see who in here. Who up in here? Here to learn and share is up in here. Rhonda Green is here. Tish up in here. Carino is up in here. Buenos dias, Valentin. Buenos dias. Kim is up in here. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. What's up, Lump? What's going on, Deborah? Hey, Mr. Darren. Man, I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays, man. What's going on? What's going on, Sonia? How you doing? Sonya coming through with the new hair. I said something about Sonya new hair last time. With the new hair. What's going on, man? I ain't seen Cameron in like a million years, too. What's happening, man? How y'all doing? I know y'all probably just be in the background, hanging in the background. Don't be dropping nothing in the chat. I appreciate y'all for dropping something in the chat, man. I like to see who I'm hanging out with, man. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. They probably sweating. Hey, Siri, what's the temperature right now?
It's 77 degrees right now.
Oh, it ain't that bad today. It's only 77 right now. But trust me, it's going to get hotter than that. You hear me? Now, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's get it started here. Let's get it started. Y'all see the newsprint. The newsprint sent us up the retail sales. We had retail sales today. The retail sales must have been good because everybody is worried about the economy and what the Fed's going to do. Are the Fed's going to cut rates? Are the right? Go to econoday.com. We had jobless claims as normal and retail sales. In Philadelphia, Fed manufacturing them. We got some other stuff going on there. But this, see the little red folder news? We get this jobless claims every week in the retail sales, right? So let's look at jobless claims. Jobless claims. Look at there. It came in. The consensus was 234. The range was 225 and 240. It came in better, much better than expected. At the low end of the consensus range. They expected 234,000 new jobless claims, and there was only 227,000. That's very good. Less people are filing unemployment or saying they lost their job or however they do it than expected, right? Came in much better than expected, right? So that's good for the economy. Retail sales. Whoa. Retail sales came in much, much better than expected. The consensus was 0.3% increase, and it came in above the range of a whole percent. That's why it shot to the moon. They used that good news to right? Much better than expected. Much better. So there's the reason why you got that takeoff on the news today. Right? On the news today. Let's look at a 1 minute chart. Yep. Never went down. Only went up. 830 counter don't even have a bottom wick on it. Whew. Shot up from peak to trough. 19 3/4 points in 1 minute. Less than a minute. I didn't watch it, so I wish I could drop down to second charts here on TradingView. I don't have my Ninja Trader open. I could drop down to a second chart on Ninja Trader, but I don't have that open. So yeah, if you drop down to a 1 second chart, look and see how long it took to get through that move. Right? I'm assuming it was relatively quick. I'm assuming it was relatively quick. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's get into the overnight price action review. I want action, murderer. I want action, murderer. If you wonder what that line is up there, that line up there is the consequent encroachment of the weekly wick. That wick right there. Right. It's digging a lot farther than I would have want to see it dig if we were going to continue to drop. Right. But as of now, that monthly order block is doing a very good job at supporting price. Right. Thus, this week ain't over yet, but we are pushing through this weekly SIBI very nicely. We have consequent encroachment up there, right here at this weekly bearish order block that can still, that's why I got that marked out, that can still do its job of bringing it down. But that's a very good push thus far. And we're halfway through August. Right, we're at the 15th. Right. So we got 2 weeks and counting today, 2 days, 2 weeks. So we got 5, 10, 12 more trading days counting today. 5, 10, 12 more trading days counting today. It's kind of digging. We'll see how it plays out, though. It's still not quite over yet, but because we still have some bearish stuff here. We got order block here. We got consequent encroachment of that wick there. All right, that's your order block there. Consequent encroachment of that wick, right, on the weekly. All right. So that's consequent encroachment of that wick right there on the weekly. But taking out this high is no bueno, in my humble opinion. Doesn't mean that it's over, but in my humble opinion, taking out that high doesn't make me want to see this anymore. Taking out that high makes me want to see this. All right. Because that would be a bullish breaking market structure. And that right there would be the change in the state of delivery from sell side to buy side delivery. Right. Trading above that opening price right there. So taking out that, coming up there and taking out that high, in my humble opinion, would be no bueno for coming back down in this area here. And that monthly order block will be doing its job. Right. I want action, murderer. I want action. All right. Let's hide this stuff and get it started. Let's get it started in here. What's the info line for? 15 minutes. Boom, boom. Last night on the Wednesday night Q&A with the mentees, I said, hey, y'all like the way I did the overnight price action yesterday? They said, yes, I did. I enjoyed that. Okay, so here we are. We open up at 6 there. We pretty much came down. Let's mark this out. That's going to be, let's go say this is the initial buy side. Right. Let's see. Opening. All right. That's what I'm going to call it. Buy side at 6. Okay. I'm going to get that big candle out the way so I can make this bigger. There you go. Moving everything. And we know that's the news candle right there. All right. Make sure I ain't blocking nothing. Matter of fact, I'm just going to take me off the screen because I don't want to be blocking nothing. Y'all don't need to see my mug. Y'all don't need to see my mug. All right. Buy side liquidity from the 6 o'clock hour. And then this is the sell side, right? This is the low during the 6 o'clock hour. Okay. So then 7. This is 7 o'clock. Seven. All right. Then this is it's the 8 o'clock candle. 8. Let's make this bigger. Then at 9 o'clock. Nine. And that right there is 10 p.m. Right there. All right. And then that's good enough. We'll just make this right here. Liquidity. 11 is 10. Right there. All right. So, got everything broke down by each hour here. Now, let's go in and dig into what was going. Okay, so we open up here at 54.81.25 at 6 p.m. That was the opening price of the evening. And so that gave us a bearish gap down. Right? Gave us a bearish gap down. Okay. Gave us a bearish gap down. So the high of the new day opening gap is 54.81.50, and the low again is the opening price at 54.81.25. Right, so that's a 1 tick gap down. Right, yeah, that's 1 tick, right? 50, yeah. 81.50, yeah, 1 tick. That's 1 tick. Very small gap down. Okay. Very small gap down. 1 tick. All right, then. Let me turn on my fancy dancing. Then we traded down. We pushed up a little, traded down. Then at 6:15, we pushed back up to the high of the new day opening gap, traded down and set a low. Right, we set a low at 6 p.m. at 54.76.25. Then the high that was set at the open was 54.82.75. Right, that was our initial range there that was set during the 6 o'clock hour. Then in the 7 o'clock hour, we continued to trade back up and touched the high of the new day opening gap again. Right, we touched the high of the new day opening gap again, and then we displaced down, taking out the sell side, right, on the 7:30 candle, right, and then we came down and made a low of 54.7275 on that 7 o'clock candle, and that where we repriced this 315 BISI, right? Bodies of the candle respecting that 315 BISI. So for the 7 o'clock hour, right, we took out the sell side that was set during the 6 o'clock hour. So the 6 o'clock hour, we opened up and we set a range between 54.8275 and 54.7625, right? We set a range of 6.5 points, right? 6.5 point range from peak to trough. Then we traded back up into the range up to the new day opening gap. So we came down, set a low, price drew back to the new day opening gap, touched the high of the new day opening gap, then displaced down, taking out the sell side liquidity that was set from the opening range, repricing the BISI from the prior session, right? So looking at it in a broader scope, right? On this last push up, this 330 candle, we pushed up, took out the buy side liquidity, right? And then came back down into the internal liquidity, the BISI here. Make this green because that's messing with my thought process. There you go. Broader scope. So pushed up, took out buy side, came down there, took out sell side, back into the internal liquidity there, right? That's in a bigger picture scope, connecting it to the prior session, right? Bodies of the candle totally respecting the fair value gap there. So this was the range of the 7 p.m. candle, right? The low was at 54.7250, and the high was the high of the new day opening gap at 54.8151, right? And the range of that hour was a 9-point range, a little bit wider range than the 6 o'clock hour. After taking out the sell side and respecting the BISI, we displaced up, right? We displaced up and then closed out. Well, I mean, opened up. Well, we actually just rejected off the low. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we opened up totally respecting the fair value gap, right? Gap down just slightly, gapping down to the high of the fair value gap, that 345 fair value gap. Then we displaced up during the 8 o'clock hour. So the 8 o'clock hour was all up, no bottom wick on this at all. The 8 o'clock hour pushed all the way up and set a high at 54.8525, right? That was a range of 10 3/4 points, so a little bit bigger than the 7 o'clock hour, right? A little bit bigger than the 7 o'clock hour, and that came up and took out, but no, that set an equal high to the 415 high, taking out the initial buy side that was set in the 6 o'clock hour. So the buy side, the initial buy side that was set in the 6 o'clock hour was at 54.8275. The initial low was 54.7625. 7 o'clock hour, we took out that low, repriced the to the 345 BISI, right? During the 8 o'clock hour, displaced back up, took out the initial buy side and set an equal high to the 415 swing high, set an equal high there to the 415 swing high. And then at the 9 o'clock and backed off 9 o'clock hour, we opened up, poked that poked above the buy side, right? That was set, right? Poked above the buy side, that was set at 8 o'clock, that equal high, right? There you got equal highs when you're looking at it, right? This area down here is jagged. Up there, that's smooth, right? We immediately, boom, took that out, took out those smooth highs on the first 15-minute candle of the 9 o'clock hour, came down after taking out those smooth highs, set a low right there at the new day opening gap, came down to the new day opening gap, went below it a little bit, set a low, and then pushed back up, respecting the new day opening gap, closing above it. Then we traded back down again to the high of it. What's the low of that candle? Yes, traded right back down to the high of the new day opening gap, and then displaced away, moving into the 10 o'clock hour. We took out the buy side liquidity again, created a BISI here on the 10 p.m. candle, traded all the way up, set a high at 54.9175, right? So the 10 o'clock hour moved up and took out the high again from the 9 o'clock hour. So we're prices in a buy program, right? The buy program is still intact. We were in a buy program in the afternoon session, right? So the buy program was still intact. It's a small range. The range is really not big, but the buy program is intact. As we see here, we come up, take out the buy side, right? Then we come back down to internal liquidity, right? Respecting the discount PD array, respecting the down close candles. Then we push up, right? Come back up, coming down, respecting the down close candles, push back up, take out the buy side, coming back down to internal liquidity, right? Pushing up, taking out the buy side, coming back down to the opening date, new day opening gap, right? Come up, take out buy side, right? So the buy program is still intact all the way through until after 11. Okay, so moving into the 11 o'clock hour, we trade above the buy side there, those relative equal highs there, trade above that, and then price breaks down, trading below here. Up, wrong one. Trading below, right? These candles. No, this candle went higher right there. That candle went higher right there. So trading below here, right? Trading below that candle there. That one has a higher high, right? So trading below that, I'm using that because it got a higher high, right? We have these candles there, but that candle went higher, and these are inside that candle's body. That's why I'm looking at this one, right? Traded below there, creating a SIBI there. Then price got back up to the SIBI, couldn't make it back there, and then it came down, took out the low from 10 o'clock, right? So that 11 o'clock took out the 10 o'clock high, and it came down, took out the 10 o'clock low, right? We had to change the state of delivery there. So we've gone from external to external, okay? So then we push back down, right? After 1, 2 o'clock, came back down to the new day opening gap, taking out the sell side below the 9 o'clock hour, traded back up, made equal highs there with the 11 o'clock hour. Remember, the 11 o'clock took out external to external, traded back up to, this is during the London session now. This is on the 345 candle, came back up, made equal highs to the Asian session. This is your Asian session high right there. Came up, make equal highs to the 11 o'clock hour that had to change the state of delivery, and then we dropped down again. Right, we set equal highs, came down, and took out the sell side right there. Right, during the London session. Right, during the London session, came down, took out that sell side. Right, once we came down, took out that sell side, we traded back up into this SIBI here that was created on the 415 candle, right, on this drop down from when we came up and made these smooth highs, right, came down, took out the sell side there from the 215 candle, okay, and then we still got these smooth highs over here, traded back up into that 415 BISI, overshot it a little. Then we dropped all the way down and took out the overnight low. That low that was set at 7 p.m. during the 7 o'clock candle, that's the overnight low. Came down, took that overnight low out, and then we immediately reversed, came all the way back up and took out the high. So right there is you're changing the state of delivery here, right? Because we had switched to a sell program over here, right? We switched to a sell program over here, came back, set relative equal highs, right? Kept going down, okay? And then now we come back up here. That's our change in the state of delivery there, moving back into a buy program, taking out that high, giving us a break in market structure on this 715 candle. Okay, 715 candle give us a break in market structure. Right there's your change in state of delivery. Now we have this. Well, since I got this green already when it should have been red, I'm just going to move it here because we now have a BISI right there in line with this inversion fair value gap right here. Right. So we got that. So now that 415 SIBI is now an inversion fair value gap right there at this change in the state of delivery in line with that BISI, right? In line with that BISI. So now we're looking for this SIBI and this BISI to act as support. Now that we got the change in the state of delivery to bullish, to buy side delivery, right? A bullish break in market structure. Now we're looking for all of this here to act as a balanced price range, right? Then on this 815 candle, trade back down to the consequent encroachment of both the SIBI and the BISI. Consequent encroachment are in the exact same spot. So we trade back down to the consequent encroachment, and then the news comes out and nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. And that is the overnight price Hack-Shown review. And as you see, I've been studying the Asian session a little bit. And as you see, like when I watch it, I've been watching it like hour by hour and kind of studying it and watching how price trades with it. In the Asian, it moves in smaller ranges, but it still acts algorithmic. It's just smaller range. The ranges are smaller. Like I would have to get out of the mindset of looking for bigger runs. It's like it's one of them things where you really have to trade on a lower time frame if you're looking to trade during the Asian, because the runs, you're not going to get those huge runs all the time. Every now and then you may get like some nice runs, but as you see, like we saw in the like the 6 o'clock hour, right? This whole hour was a 6.5 point range, right? And then the 7 o'clock hour, it was a 9 point range, right? And then in the 8 o'clock hour, right, it was a 10.75 point range, right? And that 10.75 point range took us all the way back above the opening opening high, the you know what I'm saying, the initial high from the session, right? So it's not very big ranges, you know what I'm saying, but so you would have to trade on lower time frames to really take advantage of this. But as you see, everything is still moving algorithmic. The market is open. The market is open. The market is open. If you're gonna trade, please trade safe. If you're not gonna trade, please take coping mountain notes. You can go back, study what you started and apply it to your future trading endeavors. Enjoy your day. Thank you. So when you look at it, I'm gonna go down to 1 minute charts. All right, we're gonna go down to 1 minute charts here. Look at this on 1 minute charts. All right. Yeah. So this is right. Yeah. So this right here is all the price from like 6 to 9. All right. This is the price from 6 to 9 on 1 minute charts. All right. And as you can see, it's moving. It's moving algorithmic. It's still moving algorithmic. It's just not really large ranges. Okay. As we see here, when we opened up, here we go. We opened up here. Let's zoom in and look at it. 942. Yeah. Hang out for a little while looking. All right. So this is our 6 o'clock range right here. Right. This is our 6 o'clock range right here. Right, so we open here at 6, right? Go up and down, right? Trade below these lows over here, right? Then we trade up, make equal high, right? We trade up, make an equal high, right? Then we're trading around the new day opening gap, come down, make equal lows there, push up, make relative equal highs here. Then we drop down, taking out the equal lows. Okay. All right. Take out the equal lows there in the first 15 minutes. Then we push back up into the SIBI right there at the new day opening gap. So come here, get above the new day opening gap, displace down, take out the sell side, right? Take out the sell side, push back up to the imbalance in the premium of that move, right? Push up to the imbalance in the premium of that move, which is in line with the new day opening gap. New day opening gap acting as a magnet to the price, hit the SIBI that's in the premium of the move, right? We drop. Let's check that on OTE, see what that look like. Boom. OTE entry right there on that move. Boop, boop. Just kind of looked like it was in an OTE. That's why I said let's check that on OTE, right? As an OTE, if you trade OTE, drop down, took out the sell side again, right? Took out the sell side again. We have two SIBIs. This SIBI created that SIBI. Once taking out the sell side again, push back up into the lower SIBI right there. Wicked up to the top of it. Body closed at the low of it. Dropped down again. Created another SIBI. This time didn't even try to trade back up into it, right? And one thing I've learned by studying price, right? When price starts sliding or rallying, right? See how up here right? See how up here we came up a good little ways into this SIBI right here, right? And then we came back down and took out that low right there. Then we left that untouched, and then here we traded all the way back up to the high of the SIBI again, but the body is respecting it there. But then notice, once we so we came down, we took out this low, traded back up pretty deep up into the SIBI, right? Then we came down, took out this low, left that SIBI, traded pretty deep up into the SIBI, but the bodies are still totally respecting it. Each time the body's totally respecting it, right? But then when we took out this low, right, we didn't trade into that SIBI at all. You see what I'm saying? So it's like as price starts sliding, you don't want to really see it keep retracing really far back up into the imbalances, right? You just want to see it start catching speed to come down to whatever your target is, right? Don't have like a clear target over here, but you want to see it like catching speed. You don't want to see it continuously retracing back to the fair value gaps every single time, right? You want to see it just go. Same thing going up. You don't want to see it just continuously retracing back to the fair value gaps every single time, right? Just like how here it just ignored that one, right? And then this one here, it was like to the bottom, so it started switching back up. But like right there, the last fair value gap before it was right, it didn't even try to touch it. It just ran away. You see what I'm saying? That's you want to see it like just keep moving. Okay. And then once we got down to, where it wanted to get to, see, we started to move back up. All right. And then this starts the 7 o'clock hour. Then you notice there that we didn't even go down, right? On the 7 o'clock counter there, we didn't even go down. We're continuing up. That's when it has switched, and we came here and made those smooth highs there. Came up there, made those smooth highs, and then we came back down, dropped down immediately. Where do we make them smooth highs at? Right? The new day opening gap. So we came down, set that low, moved back up to the new day opening gap, made them smooth highs. Then we displaced away, right? Taking out the sell side and came all the way down here to that BISI over there, right? Came down to that BISI. Then we worked our way back up, right? Worked our way back up, came all the way back up and took out those smooth highs that was set during the 7 o'clock hour, right? So the 7 o'clock hour, we set them smooth highs, came down, right? Took out the sell side from the 6 o'clock hour. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we made our way back up and took out those smooth highs that was set in the 7 o'clock hour. See what I'm saying? So it'd be moving very algorithmically, and it's just keying off of it's triggering off of key levels. And that I think Mike asked about that last night in the Q&A, and it was talk about with the 2024 mentorship. But this right here is what I was talking about, Mike. If you watching this, the you don't need anything above the higher time frames if you understand the key levels that's involved there. Like you understand, okay, we opening here. This is our new day opening gap. We got a 15-minute fair value gap down here, right? So we use the new day opening gap. We take out sell side, trade back to the new day opening gap, right? But we don't burst through it. We respect it. We push up and we're respecting it. We're not bursting through it. We're respecting it, right? And then we set relative equal highs, right? So not only do we have equal highs here, right? From the 6 o'clock hour, we got relative equal highs, right? from the 6 o'clock hour. So we got relative equal highs inside the 6 o'clock hour, and then we got relative equal highs with the 6 and 7 o'clock hour, right? So we got relative equal highs set there, respecting the new day opening gap, right? And then we drop down and attack the sell side. So now looking at like the 6 o'clock hour as like just say the initial range. This is your initial range with the 6 o'clock hour. That's your high, that's your buy side, that's your sell side, right? Then when the 7 o'clock hour open up, we set a relative equal high to the 6 o'clock hour, and we're respecting the new day opening gap. And then so now you say, okay, which one is going to get attacked, right? And when we attack that one, then I'm going to look for opportunity if it presents itself to trade back to the other, right? That's pretty much the whole idea behind what he been walking through with the 2024 mentorship, right? So now you got an opening range of, right? You got this low down here, and then you got relative equal highs up there, okay? And then you got a 15-minute PD array below these 1-minute candles. So when you set these relative equal highs and you got this low down here, then price respects the new day opening gap and then attacks the low. So now that it attacked the low, now you're looking for opportunity to trade back to the relative equal highs, right? So we consolidate here. We get to an anticipatory reactionary point. It's a higher time frame, 15-minute PD array. So we're at the anticipatory reactionary point. We wick below it, right? Respect consequent encroachment. Touch the low, right? Respect it, right? All the bodies of the candles are respecting consequent encroachment. So it's giving you a clue that it's respecting this right here, right? So then we come up here, this candle there trades above that, right? That's your change in the state of delivery right there when we trade above that opening price right there, right? So there's your change in the state of delivery, right? There's a fair value gap. We trade back into it. If you trade fair value gaps, make it bigger so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right, so again, the bodies of the candles are respecting the anticipatory reactionary point, right? We start to push back up, and then this candle right here trades above. See, we got consecutive down close candles. Remember, if it's only one, right? If it's only one candle, then you're looking at the change in state of delivery to be here. But since it's consecutive candles, right, the change in state of delivery is when you trade above that opening price, right? If it was only one red candle here, if we was coming down and it was only one red candle there, then that'll be your change in state of delivery there, right? That'll be your change in state of delivery there. Now, like I was saying, change in state of delivery, got a BISI right here, right? Trade back down into the BISI, right? Trade to the lower of the BISI, body's respecting it right there. Then we got a bullish breaker right here in line with the BISI. So if you trade breakers, right? Breaker entry, trade fair value gaps, fair value gap entry, trade order blocks. It touched the opening price there. I don't know if you would have got picked up on that, but it touched the opening. Did it touch the opening price? The opening price there, 476. The low of this candle, 476. Yes, it touched the opening price. Don't know if you'd have got picked up there. So there's several different entry techniques there to get involved with that move to come back up and attack the relative equal highs that was set. And with that, that brings us to the end. Oh, y'all couldn't see me. And with that, that brings us to the end of the overnight price action review. Hopefully you found that helpful. Mike, if that last part made sense, you know, Let me know if it didn't make sense. Be like, Tim, I still don't understand it, and we can chop it up some more inside the Discord on one of the Q&As. One of the Q&As or one of the pop-ups, if would I do a pop-up. Thank you, Valentine. Carino, what does that say? Type that in English. What does that say? What's up, Lil Hawk? I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays, Lil Hawk. What's going on, Thomas? What's that now? Hey, it's 9:55. I'm getting ready to get out here. Do anybody got anything before I call it? Does anyone have anything for me before I call it? Sound like my yard man out there. Let me go ahead and send me his payment while I'm thinking about it. While I'm waiting to see if anybody got anything for me. Cash card expiring, order replacement. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this. All right, man. They should tell me I need to order a new Cash App card. All right. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me for the overnight price action review. Until the next time, I decide to get on Al Gore's internet and share my thoughts on this thing that we call price action. It's your boy, Aranya Grande. That's Big Spot if you don't hablo español. Y'all be safe out here in these trading streets, man. Gone.